command manual, the recruiting manual, uh, as regards to the enlisted. Um, and I'll tell you why that is. Because I like to operate within my boundaries when I do things, okay? Now, I'm not going to say anybody or any locations or try to call anyone out or anything like that or anything like that, okay? I'm going to put all of the blame on myself as an adult male. I should have advocated for myself sooner and stood up for myself sooner. So, I have been going to the same recruiter since June. And the only thing that we've got completed was my pre-screen, my MEPS pre-screen. We didn't get any waivers completed, tattoo waivers, dependent waivers. Part of what took so long to do my dependent waiver was waiting for my son's birth certificate because he was born abroad. A lot of you know that who've been following along. So that did take a while. But in that whole time, the recruiter I was going to wasn't able to get any of my paperwork together in a correct way at all. There are also a couple of other things that happened in the meantime in that recruiting office. One of the things that had bothered me was making appointments with me and then no call, no show for those appointments. So no heads up, hey, plans changed. Let's reschedule. No text, no call, nothing. Just let me show up. And then the people that were in the recruiting office, um, they didn't seem to care much either. They weren't apologetic or try to help me or anything like that. Now there was times when I went to drop off paperwork and they would copy it and put it in my folder, even though my recruiter wasn't there. And then one time I was going to the recruiting office with my wife, so she could ask questions and she could get some reassurance, and maybe get some closure on concerns she had. When people join the military, their families are basically joining as well. Yeah, they're not going to boot camp, they're not going on deployments, but they are joining the military as well. I have to put all of my wife's information, all of my children's information, um, and they're going to be a part of that system. They're going to be potentially living on base, going to, you know, using military benefits, things like that. They're part of the military with their significant other who is serving. So it's in her right to be able to go to the recruiter and ask questions, things that I can't answer, things that she has different questions and concerns than I would have as someone who wants to go in. And he set up an appointment. My wife is busy; she owns a business, and he wasn't there. He didn't call me, tell me he couldn't be there, nothing. And then when I introduced her to the other two recruiters in there, they didn't acknowledge her. They didn't say hello. They didn't say nice to meet you. I'm petty officer, blah, blah, blah. They didn't do none of that. If you have any questions, I can help you answer them, since your other recruiter's not here. Just totally disregarded her. And that, you know, so the couple times we had meetings, he didn't no call, no show, then did that to my wife. And then I had my 41st birthday this month. And I'm just like, man, I'm running out of time. And then there's another thing that happened when I was in that recruiting station where the guy who's like the one that's supposed to be the most knowledgeable had his N-dubs on, his NWUs, and had his patches on the wrong shoulders mixed up. And I'd asked, like, hey, how do you know where to put all your patches and all this stuff? And he was like, "Oh, it doesn't really matter." And then me being me, I just didn't believe that. I kind of was like, "Well, it's the military. I don't think you could just wear your patches wherever." So looking the same as everybody and being uniform is a very big part of military, police, and perception. You have to. Everybody has to look the same and look organized and unified. That's how you look strong. So I know I'm like, there's no way they can just wear your patch however you want. So I looked it up. Um, there's uniform military code and all that. You can look it up. So I looked it up, and yeah, he was wrong. And that's just another red flag. I'm like, these guys. I'm going to boot camp. These guys are supposed to help me get squared away. So when I go to boot camp, I don't look like a special needs person. Like they're gonna be like, "Why do you have her blah 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 wrong?" "Oh, sir, petty officer, that's how my recruiter taught me." And they're not gonna believe that. They're not gonna believe that because it's so wild. It's so wrong. They're gonna say, "No way, your recruiter taught you that," and then they're gonna think you're, they're gonna think you're garbage, and they're gonna think you're a liar probably too. So there's another thing, just and I feel like I've been working on being a patient person. Patience is something that I admire in people. It's something that I would like to be patient, and just be able to stay cool and not get heated when things happen, and just not get super upset. So that's something I try for, and I have friends that I respect. I can call and get advice from, and they're telling me like, "Oh, dude, this recruiter does not sound good. This does not sound legit." Also, if you're in the chat right now watching the live, say what's up in the chat. Don't forget to like. And if you have any questions, put them in the chat. We'll try to answer them together as well. As you could see, I don't know everything, you guys, but I know how to find. I know how to find stuff. Okay. This is current stuff here that I found on the actual military website. Um, so I've listed a few things already here. A couple of the processes that we've been working on have been getting sent back to be corrected. And multiple times. "Yo, what's up, Ryan? Do your own work, learn basic knowledge, and all that." Yeah, 100%. That's really good advice. So if you're watching this on YouTube later, you can swipe left and right on the chat, and you can actually see live chat as well as comments after the fact. So yeah, if you swipe, you can see live chat in the same time that I'm seeing it. And then Ryan gives some good advice here. Do your own research, 100%, and I do that too. You kind of got to be also to remember that recruiters are just people. They have their own life experience. They have their own things going on in their life. They're getting married. They have sick family members, a dog that died, things like that. You guys, they have the same stuff they're going through that you might be going through. So keep that in mind. Ryan says, "What is the MOS you signed up for?" So in the Navy, it's called a rate. And I haven't signed up for a rate yet, Ryan. I actually go to MEPS to take the ASVAB on Monday. And then because it's the holiday season, the days are kind of chopped up. So I'm not able to do medical yet. I'm going to a new recruiter now, and the new recruiter said I might be able to go do my medical part of MEPS on the 27th and 30th of this month. He said if it's fully booked, because it's like late notice when we're scheduling me to do this stuff. He said if it's fully booked, then I'll go the week of the 5th in January. And what's actually kind of cool, I'll finish the story in a minute because I'm kind of going off Ryan's question. The way the new recruiter is helping me, I'm going to a new recruiter because of all the stuff I was saying about my old one. They made it to where I could go do my ASVAB, my medical, and then actually go to the what do they call it? The classifier. I could go to the classifier separate. So the benefit of that is traditionally you go do the ASVAB one day, then you go to the hotel, and then the next day you do medical all day, and at the end of the medical they send you to a classifier to pick your job. But if you go home, you could sit with your recruiter and they can help you decide, like, hey, these are the jobs that you qualify for, just so you know. And then when you go and talk to the classifier, they can't hide from you what jobs you actually qualified for. Now, they might not all be available, but at least you know what you qualify for. So it's kind of, maybe some people might see it as inconvenient having to go back multiple times, but you don't necessarily want to rush this thing. This is kind of a big deal going in the military. You can't just go switch your jobs up when you get in. So you want to make sure that your top 5 choices are going to be jobs that, if you, whichever one you got, you'd be happy with. I think I actually have, where's my list? I have a list here. Let me see. Where did I put it? I don't know where the heck I thought I had it right here. Oh. No, not there. I have it written down somewhere. I have like 10 jobs that I'm interested in doing that I've written down. Ryan says, it's been 24 years since I did the ASVAB, so things obviously have changed. I'm pretty sure the ASVAB itself is still the same. I do know that the score requirements for jobs change. I think I don't want to say lower the standard, because I know that's not the term that the military wants to use. But they have shifted like test score requirements. I don't even think you have to have a GED anymore if you can pass a certain test. They have like their own GED test you can pass. Things like that. So they're making it pretty easy for people to get in right now, because they need people. Especially with Trump coming in as president. Trump is a big military spender. He's not going to shrink the military. He's going to boom the military. He's going to boost it. Also, too, I saw there's a 5% increase in pay for military people, so that's good news, too. They shortened Navy boot camp by a week, so it's 9 weeks now. So, and also Trump is a very hardcore man of the peace. He's a very anti-war. But we might be potentially fighting cartels. So we might not be going to war with any countries or anything like that, but we could potentially be fighting some cartels. Let's see. Welcome, Brooklyn Man, to the chat. The ASVAB, no joke, scored a 17, and I have my GD. Sheesh. I feel you, brother. Like, the ASVAB is very intimidating. I got a 71 on my practice, but some of it could have been luck, because it's multiple guess. So some things, like on math, I don't know. I just guess. I just use my best guess. Let's see. Ryan says, we are the only ones now that still require a high school diploma. All other branches lowered the standard because they have met. Because I think it means because they haven't met the recruiting and retention rate. Yeah, it's true. And it's, you guys can make your own interpretation of things the Navy or military says, like, yeah, we haven't lowered our standard. But, if in your opinion they lowered the standard, then, they lowered the standard. They need people to get in, and not all jobs in the military require you to be like super smart at math or history or things like that. Some jobs you just have to be a hard worker. You just have to be able to follow directions. Some people are not good at school. Like, some people are not good at like sitting down, reading a book, learning and studying and doing a test. Some people are really good at just work. Like, hey, this is how you do this. You show them the tool, you show them a couple times how to do it, and then they kill it. Like, some people are like that. So I think it's smart for the military to try to maybe get more people in, and kind of build those people up. It's all about just keeping your mouth shut and following orders and directions. Yeah, I've heard that a lot, and I think that's probably the number one advice I've gotten, that I'm going to try really hard to focus just on that, because 41 years old, and I'm going to have people the age of my son in charge of me, and I'm going to have to just swallow my pride and just, yes sir, and go do what they ask with no attitude. I'm gonna have to do my best job for those people, whether they're wrong or not. So really good advice. And then Ryan also says, and keep under the radar. I've heard that too. I've heard some people say you don't want to stand out in boot camp. I don't know about being under the radar once you're in the service, because I know if you want to advance, you kind of want to stand out. But if you mean stay under the radar, like stay out of trouble, then yeah, obviously that's really good advice too. But yeah, keep your mouth shut and listen and follow directions. I know that's like 98% of boot camp. And then the other couple percent is, don't be a fat body. For Navy, anyways, I know the other branches, it's like you kind of got to be a stud. Let's see. You think it was your anxiety that got the best of you and you're going to retake it soon? Yeah, dude, that's awesome. You definitely should retake it. Nerves play a big part. You need to get really good sleep. You have to be hydrated. This book helped me a lot. This book, the ASVAB for Dummies. I think you can get this at libraries if you don't want to buy one. The book is like $20 or something like that on Amazon. My wife bought me this one. And what I did, because when I took the practice ASVAB, it just does the 2 English parts, like the 2 language parts, and then the 2 math parts. The math parts I already knew was what I need to work on. That's the only thing I study in here. The other parts, I don't even waste my time, because mechanical, English, I'm really good at those parts. So all I do is I do the math. And I don't over study. I probably do like maybe one section. Like they have little sections and they give you math problems. I'll do one section, then I'll take a break. The Kaplan one. I haven't seen that one, but I know this person, I think, that wrote this one was actually, yeah, former Army NCO, Angie Papple Johnston. It's pretty cool. The way that she worded stuff in here is really good. It's really easy to read. Don't overcomplicate it. You don't have to be a super genius to get a really good score and qualify for most jobs, So, yeah. I mean, I can't really give a lot of advice. The guys in my chat could give more advice, prior service in there and stuff. So, yeah, don't be a shitbag and carry your weight. Yeah, because Marines and Army, like it's a more physically demanding branch, In the Marines, everyone's a rifleman. I've seen some pretty cool doctors in the Marines. Maybe they didn't get the best score on the final test, but they didn't even have to do it. They weren't even required to do it, and they still did it. I thought that was pretty awesome. The Marines are really tough people, and so is the Army. I have a lot of respect for those branches. I think the Marines dress blues. Man, those things are hot. But anyways, so what I was saying is I went to get my hair cut. My wife told me to get my hair cut for Christmas pictures. So I went all the way up to my barber, who lives way far away from me. The shop is far away from me. It's by Wishbone, by my friend's house. And on the way home, I was like, you know what? Let me stop at a different recruiter. Let me tell them what's going on and get their opinion. Hey, you guys, it's been 8 months I've been with the same recruiter. Nothing is done. Nothing is done. I'm running out of time. Like the cutoff is 42. You have to graduate boot camp before your 42nd birthday. That's the cutoff. And I'm just turning 41. I've been at this recruiter almost a year. Everyone's telling me, no, dude, this guy sucks. Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. I'm like, oh, let me give him time. Let me be patient. Let me be patient. Okay. So I stop another recruiter. I knock on the door. And I say, do you guys have a moment? I can ask you some questions. They say yes. So I go in. I don't tell them my name. I don't tell them where I'm going to the recruiter, where I live, nothing. And these guys answered all of my questions. And they said, I said, what are my options? And they said, well, if your recruiting office is not in our area, you can just, we'll transfer everything to here and we'll be your recruiters. And I made them swear, you guys promised not to try to get my other recruiter in trouble, and I just want help getting in. I'm not trying to drag anyone through the mud. And they're like, yeah, dude, we don't care about that other place, like nothing like that, right? So these guys spend 3 hours getting all of my information, getting all my paperwork, calling friends they have connections to be able to get into the other recruiting stations information and get my stuff. There's still a couple things missing that I have to get for them. That's on like their private side of their uploads. So I come home. My wife helps me get all my paperwork together to take over there the next day, and I'm like, and this happened yesterday, by the way. Uh, and I'm like, you know what? Let me go. I had an appointment Friday to fix my tattoo waiver for like the third time at this recruiter. I'm like, let me just go get my folder that has all the paperwork I've gotten. It's my paperwork. Let me just go get it, and I'll take that to the new recruiter. Right? That seems smart. My new recruiter called my old recruiter, and the guy said, hey, can you send me these files? And he said, yeah, but after the holidays. Like, why do we have to wait? Why is everything you do so slow and delayed and procrastinated? So I just said, let me go over there. I'll get the folder, and then he's hands-free. He doesn't have to do anything anymore. He doesn't have to upload anything because it's a lot. Like my pack, when you're older and you've been divorced twice and you have 2 kids and you're married now and you got transcripts and job history and, child support and all this stuff, your packet's pretty big compared to a 17-year-old kid. So I'm like, let me just go get it and I'll run it up there to save you all the work. I go in there. There's 2 new recruiters. My recruiter is in a meeting. And I'm like, yeah, I'm here to get my packet. I'm going to a new recruiter. I was like fully up with them. And I was like, I just want to get my packet and leave. They start arguing with me. Oh, it's your new recruiter's job to get your paperwork together. We've already shredded everything. I'm like, oh, you already shredded everything. I have an appointment today with the recruiter to fix my tattoo waiver, but you're saying he shredded everything? Dude, it's like back and forth. I'm trying to explain to this new recruiter what's going on, and the new recruiter keeps arguing with me, talking over me. I said, look, you don't know what's going on. I understand. I'm trying to do you a favor and explain it to you. If you want to know what's going on before you get involved, let me tell you. I've been going here for 8 months. My paperwork keeps getting messed up. I want to go to a new recruiter. Please don't take it personal. I just want to get in the Navy before I age out. That's it. I just care about myself. I don't care about you guys. I'm not trying to get you in trouble. Just let me go to another recruiter. This recruiter cries, literally cries, leaves the room, goes and tells their boss, who's in a back room somewhere, that I'm, yelling, combative, aggressive, all this stuff. He comes out with his chest out. He's like, I'm taking it personal. Get out of here. I'm like, you're throwing me out? He's like, yeah, I am. And then my recruiter came out and he was like, I'm sorry. And he gave me the folder. He asked me a couple questions like, how are they getting you into MEP so fast? And I'm telling him, I'm like, you don't even need a waiver to go take your ASVAB. Your waivers only have to be pending to go take the medical. All you need is a 680 form to get into MEPS to take your ASVAB. He's like, really? I was like, yeah, remember your waiver that you said was done? You didn't have these documents uploaded. You didn't sign it, date it, stamp it. None of this stuff that's uploaded. It's all wrong. Because he thought my dependent waiver was done. But the new recruiter showed me it on the computer screen. It was wrong. So we had to redo everything. The only thing we didn't have to redo was the pre-screen, thankfully. So I got my folder, and I'm leaving to go to my new recruiter, which is 45 minutes away from, obviously my old one was near my house, because that's how you do it. So now I'm driving 45 minutes away to this new recruiter with my packet, and I'm like, yeah, I feel good, I call my new recruiter. I'm like, hey, I got the packet. Just so you know, they were arguing with me and yelling and telling me they shredded my documents and all. My new recruiter didn't know I was going to do that, by the way. I just came up with that idea on my own that morning. I was like, let me just go get my packet. And they're like, oh, okay. So As I'm driving up there, the old recruit. This is where it gets good. This is where the story gets good. If you're still here, this is where the story gets really good. The old recruiter told their CO, the big boss, who I've never met, that I was aggressive and fighting and cussing and yelling and threatening and all this crazy stuff, overreacting. They called the new recruiter and told them that. What they didn't know was I recorded the entire conversation. I recorded the entire conversation. And I forwarded it to my recruiter. And they played the recording for their commanding officer. Now, I didn't ask all the details, like, oh, what was their reaction or any of that stuff. I just left it, like, whatever. But my new recruiter told me, like, it's out of my hands now. Like, their high ups have this information. I tried, guys, really hard just to go to another recruiter that could get the job done. That was it. I didn't care. Whatever they had going on over here by my house is cool. It's cool. I have the recording.
There's stuff that he didn't upload that my new recruiters need to finish my waivers. So I can try to go to MEPS this month.
I have the recording. I just play a little snippet for you. Just so you know I have it. 15 minutes. I had my AirPods in. I was on the phone with my best friend. And I wanted him just to be a witness. And then in Apple, you can record phone calls now. So my friend pushed record on it. He forgot to mute himself, so you can hear him. He's at work. You can hear him talking a couple times. And these people are telling me, "Oh, we shredded all your documents and get out of here." So I was like, my new recruiters are apologizing to me. My new recruiters, dude, we are so sorry. You should not have to go through this, man. And I was like, dude, it's not. You guys are helping me. I love you guys. Thank you guys. 3 hours. They stayed after hours. Spent 3 hours. Everyone in the recruiting station helped me. Got my paperwork together. Said, hey, we can't get you a shuttle right now, because the holidays. But if you want to drive yourself, you can go to MEPS Monday, tomorrow, this coming Monday, the 23rd. I said, yes, I would love to. They said, okay, you can go take your test, the ASVAB, and then we'll try to schedule you for the medical the 27th or 30th. So they're going to let me know next week if they can schedule that or not, because they said it's short notice, so they could literally be full. They might have too many people. I personally, my prediction is they won't be full and that I'll be able to get in. Because it's the holidays, I typically suspect a lot of people don't join right now because people just want to be on vacation, want to be on Christmas with their family. But I could totally be wrong. I'll let you guys know, obviously. I was originally going to take the shuttle to go to MEPS to vlog it because I'm trying to get the full experience for people so people know what it's like. But I'm gonna have to drive myself, which is not a big deal. But it's gonna, for people who don't have cars or they want to take the shuttle, I'm not gonna be able to obviously, speak on that part because I'm gonna just drive myself. I live about an hour and a half from San Diego, where I live here in Anaheim Hills. It's a little more with traffic. So hopefully Monday morning, a lot of people will be on holiday. So my recruiter told me to be there at 8. So I'll probably leave my house no later than 6 a.m. So 2 hours in advance to do an hour and a half drive. I probably will leave at like 5:30. So I'll wake up at 4, shit, shower, shave, make my breakfast, pound an energy drink, start to try to wake up. And it'll give myself time so on my drive I can have another energy drink and I can stop and go to the bathroom if I need to before I get there and just kind of chill out, get my blood pressure down because I am nervous. I'm 41, but I'm nervous. when I have to take tests about stuff I really care about, yeah, it makes me nervous. So next week I'll know when I'm going to do the medical, and then Monday I'll know what my score is, and my recruiters will be able to tell me what jobs I qualify for, um, ASVAB wise. Obviously, some medical things will restrict you if you have no depth perception, color blindness, terrible hearing. You know, your medical can disqualify you from some jobs. So they'll be able to tell me. Hopefully, I get at least a 71 or better on my ASVAB. I don't want to bomb it. And then yeah. So yeah, just thought this was interesting thing to look at here when I'm thinking about this tape, that recording I have, and I listen to it. Do the recruiters that I'm talking to meet this standard? The very first rule in the whole overview in the military conduct of recruiting duty is personnel assigned to recruiting duty serve as professional representatives of the Department of the Navy within the communities they are assigned. So like the city or the town where they are, they're a representative of the Navy. As ambassadors of the United States Navy, the conduct and actions of recruiting personnel must be above reproach to ensure they and the Navy are held in high regard by the general public. Meaning, their uniforms have to be squared away, the way they talk, the way they act, how they treat people, the way they drive, the cleanliness of their car, and all these things. The Navy is saying that the recruiters, you're a reflection of the Navy. Okay? Just like in religion too. If you're a Christian or a Buddhist or whatever like that, and someone knows it, and you act all crazy, people are going to assume your religion is like how you are. So if you're a good person and you're kind and you help your neighbors and you're considerate and stuff like that, people are going to assume, hey, this guy's religion is pretty good, even if they don't believe in it. Same thing here, okay? Where did I stop here? Let's see. Conduct and actions which degrade the public trust or brings discredit to the member or the Navy will not be tolerated. This section provides general information concerning ethical recruiting practices and conduct in the performance of recruiting duties. Like I said, you guys, I'm not a tattletale or anything. This whole recording I just played a little snippet for, that's to protect myself. They literally called my new recruiter to say that I was a problem, and I have proof that I was very professional. I am big, I'm tattooed, I have RBF, okay? I look like a scary person. People just will believe it. If someone says, oh, this guy was super aggressive, people will believe it if they don't know me. Recruiter awareness. The policies, instructions, and procedures in this manual implement directives from public law, executive orders, governmental agencies, Department of Defense, Department of Navy, Personnel Command, and RecruitCom. The Navy recruiter is the indispensable element of mission accomplishment. Therefore, it is essential that each recruiter be thoroughly familiar with this manual. Recruiter awareness must also include knowledge of each step in the process of qualification and enlistment. Recommendations or inquiries will be submitted to that word through the appropriate chain of command. So, it's the recruiter's job to know how to get you in the Navy. If you ask a question related to joining the military and they don't know, they have to find out the answer. That is their job. That's their job, you guys. They have to know. They have to be professional. First thing the Navy tells them. The very first, this is how you know what's important. Just like when you look at an ingredient panel, the first ingredient is the largest quantity of things in what that product is. This is the bulk. This is the most important thing to them, or it wouldn't be the first rule. Okay? Be professional, be courteous, be a good citizen. You're representing the Navy and your fellow shipmates. Okay? The next part is you have to know how to get people in the Navy. Like, you have to know the process. You have to know how to do it. That makes sense, right? You got to know how to do your job. Conduct with applicants. All applicants will be treated with courtesy, respect, dignity, and consideration. This applies equally to rejected applicants. Recruiters have the responsibility for tactfully informing disqualified applicants of their ineligibility to enlist or re-enlist. Rejected applicants must be made to feel their interest in the Navy is greatly appreciated. So even if you aren't qualified to go in the Navy, they still tell them. And it's not the number one rule, but look, it's in the top 5, right? 1, 2, 3. The fourth thing reiterates the first one. This right here is covered in the first one, but they're saying, look, you still have to be really nice to people, even if they don't qualify to go in the Navy. Answer their questions. Treat them with respect. Maybe they just need citizenship or something like that or something. You can tell them the steps they have to take in order to qualify. Maybe it's a medical thing. If they go to their doctor, get some kind of treatment plan, that stuff might help them get a waiver to get in. You have to tell them all this stuff. Okay, and it's sexual harassment, obviously, that's everybody knows you can't do that stuff. Fraternization. Okay, this is just saying the kind of people they need to look for. Interactions with applicants and general public. Recruiting personnel must provide fact-based information when giving information to responding to questions regarding Navy service and enlistment opportunities. So first rule in recruiting ethics. So when I ask a recruiter a question, they can't just make it up, give me a BS answer. They have to tell me. They have to find out. They don't expect you to know everything off the top of your head, but they expect you to get fact-based information. Okay? You have a right to know before you go in. They're not just going to tell you everything. They're trying to recruit you. They're trying to make you come in, but if you have a legit question, they have to tell you the truth. Okay. Do you have to take a shower naked with people in boot camp? They can't lie to you. Yeah. They would say, yeah, in boot camp you have to shower with everybody naked. There's a couple times where you're naked in front of everybody, but it's only in boot camp. It's only 9 weeks. After that, you get privacy. You're not naked in front of anybody anymore. See, that's how they would say it. You could still make it sound good, even though they're like, oh, it's not a big deal. They can make it sound good, but it has to be fact-based. That was just one example. All persons recruiting personnel come in contact with must be treated with courtesy, respect, and dignity. So they have to tell you the truth and treat you with courtesy, respect, and dignity. If you listen to this tape I have, did they do these things? Did they tell me the truth when they said my papers were shredded? When they kept interrupting me and telling me they were taking it personal that I was going to another recruiting station, which is my right. Were they following these 2 rules? Recruiting personnel will strive to provide the best customer service possible in the performance of their recruiting duties. Did they do that? Recruiting personnel must maintain a professional demeanor when confronted with anti-military confrontational individuals. Even if I was confrontational, which they accused me of, did they maintain a professional demeanor? No. Recruiting personnel are also responsible for tactfully informing applicants found not to be... Okay, we just read that one. So this is just breaking down those summaries. Recruiting personnel will not make oral or written promises to applicants, parents, or to others except as authorized by this manual or by other appropriate Navy directives. Misrepresentation or deception will not be tolerated, implied or direct assurance or promises. So if they tell you you're going to be a Navy SEAL, or if you go undesignated, you could pick any job you want, or if you pick this job, you can cross-rate, that's all lying. That's against the rules. But you got to be able to prove it. Further, recruiting personnel will not suggest to rejected personnel that by contacting or sending correspondence to DoD, blah, 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 or a political representative could assist in gaining enlistment preference or overcoming the reason for their rejection. All applicants will be evaluated on their individual merits and qualifications alone using this whole person concept. So they're not going to be able to help you get in if you write your congressman. And they said, don't tell them to do that, because someone's gonna, if it doesn't work, someone's gonna tattle on the recruiter and say, yeah, they told me to go do this. So they're putting in the rule here for the recruiters, don't do that. Excuse me. Recruiting personnel will ensure applicants fully understand the true nature and scope of their agreement with the Navy. Special care must be taken to clarify or avoid any statements, oral or written, that could possibly be construed or misrepresented as a promise. There are certain matters that must receive special emphasis so that applicants will have true and proper understanding these matters are. Let's so Brooklyn Man says, so they have to tell you if they're going to be qualified or not. Yeah, of course. There's some things the recruiter's not gonna know, like medical stuff, you know. You kind of just have to go to MEPS to find that out. But, you know, there's things like, I'll give you an example, okay? I am applying for a top secret clearance. I lived in China for 5 years and was married to a Chinese person. That was a long time ago, but could that affect my top secret clearance? Yeah, I'm sure it'll be a consideration. Does my recruiter know the answer to that question? No. They don't know. Can they even find out? No. You kind of just got to do it because some of it's case by case basis, you know. But there's some things about jobs the recruiters don't know. There's a lot of jobs, especially in the Navy. They're not going to know everything. Like, is your first deployment going to be on a ship? Is it going to be on land? There's some things, like, there's some jobs that have different sections afterwards. Like, so one of the things I'm interested in is aviation warfare. But I want, if I could choose, I want to do aviation warfare Sierra, which is a different kind of helicopter. They don't do, so there's AWR and AWS. The Romeo, they're the same helicopter, but they have different equipment on it. The Romeos hunt submarines. The Sierras mostly only do like tactical stuff. They have some things that they both do, but the Romeo has less room on board because they have all these like submarine hunting things. They look for mines and stuff like that, but they also do like some rescue missions where they, you know, go do dive in the water and save people and stuff like that. But the Sierras do it a little more, and they don't do the submarine stuff. Now, those two things, I don't think you can pick that. I think you can say, I want to do aviation warfare and be on a helicopter. They can slot you for that rate, but until you go through boot camp and A school, you don't even know which one you're gonna be on. I think the Navy just picks it for you. So, and this is stuff I'll be able to tell you later on. Like, if I make it through MEPS, you know, I don't know. Hopefully I do. I'm gonna try my hardest, but if I don't, then we'll know. And if I do, I'll keep you guys up to date. Obviously, I'm not going to make videos during boot camp, but after boot camp, when I go to A school and stuff and learn more stuff, I'll let you know. So one of the things I have to tell you is enlistment incentives, bonus programs, college fund. So this stuff is important. Incentivizes things like tuition assistance. This is stuff that they want the recruiter to tell you. Hey, man, let me tell you about some of the benefits. How long you have to be in to do it. Like, one thing I want to do is the GI Bill for my son. My son is just turned 17 in November. He wants to go to college and get a finance degree, a business degree. I can't afford to pay that. I can't afford to pay for that, but the GI Bill can. So I can ask the recruiter, how long do I have to be in before I can use the GI Bill? Can I use the GI Bill while I'm in the military for my son, or do I have to finish a contract? Like, those are questions they can answer you. And it says in here they want them to tell you this stuff. Geographical or duty stations. This one is interesting to me because this too, I don't know how they can tell you where duty stations are, but I don't think they can tell you where you're going to be stationed, depending on the job. They could probably tell you where you're going to go to A school because the schools are like if I became a CTI, which is a cryptologic technician interpretive, which is a linguist, they go to school in Monterey, which is here in Northern California. That's where that school is. Actually, all of the branches linguists go to that same place, which is kind of cool, right? People from the White House, the government, the Army, the Marines, the Air Force, Navy, Space Force, Coast Guard, they all go to that same language school. Pretty sick. But maybe HMs only go to Pensacola. So they're going to know what job you have, where you're going to go to A school. But do they know where you're going to be dutied? Where your duty station is? I don't think so, you guys. I don't think you know that until you go to A school. They know where bases are, but where you're going to be, who knows? Advanced pay grade promotion. This is public knowledge. This stuff they'll tell you. This stuff you can Google. This is all public knowledge because you're a government employee. Every branch pays the same for every rank. Every rank pays the same in every branch. All the pays are the same. The only thing that's different is you get like you can get submarine pay, you can get war pay, hazard pay, deployment pay. You can get pay if your family can't go with you to where you're stationed. You can get separation pay. There's different things for different branches as far as that. And the recruiter probably can tell you all that stuff. Educational opportunities, same thing up here saying, you know, they have tuition assistance. You can take online classes. If you have shore duty, you can take night school and they pay for it. Meaning and requirements of military service obligations. The Navy is a challenging career. If properly presented, this should be sufficient attraction for young men and women of the desired character. Under no circumstances will recruiting personnel directly or indirectly characterize duty of the Navy as life of ease or pleasure. That's cool, right? I think people generally know that as far as branches go, the Navy is probably for sure easier than the Marines or the Army, but maybe the Air Force is easier than the Navy. They all have their pros and cons, but I can tell you right now, even if you like traveling, if you like being on a ship, if you are an introvert and you don't mind being alone and playing on your PSP and stuff like that, it's hard. Okay, you're stuck on a ship. They run out of supplies. Sometimes they run out of toilet paper. Sometimes they don't have water. You can't clean your clothes. They might serve leftovers for 3 days. Sometimes you might have a job where one of your meals is at midnight. They call it mid-rats, and you just eat leftovers. They don't make you like a fresh, super fresh meal. If you have a job that's on the flight deck, where you sleep is probably right on the flight deck. And my dad told me when he was a signalman in Vietnam on an aircraft carrier, he slept right where the planes landed. So where the steel sling is that the planes come down and they hook and catch, he was right there. So he said it was really loud, and it's, you know, he said, and he was in during Vietnam, so planes are constantly taking off and landing, taking off and landing, taking off and landing. You know, and he was 17 and he wasn't used to that. So life in the military is not a life of ease. There are things you don't have to worry about. You're going to always get paid. You're going to always have food. You're always going to have a bed. You're always going to have a flight deck over your head or a roof over your head. See, in Brooklyn says that's why are you enlisting in the Army, Brooklyn? Because you want it to be harder, or because you want to be on land, or what? Let's hear it. Let's hear why you want to be in the Army. Let's see. Recruiting personnel will reinforce to each applicant that only those promises actually written into their enlistment contract will be honored. That's another thing, too. You always hear people say, get it in writing. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Get it in writing. So if I ask my recruiter, hey, can you guys get me E2 before boot camp? And they say yes. Can you put it in writing? Because if they just say yes, that doesn't mean nothing. Brooklyn Man says he's trying to go for the army because he likes to be on land. You know what? And the army dudes sleep under the stars. They don't get sleeping bags. They're out in the mud and the rain with stinky, wet, soggy feet, eating out of MREs. Some people thrive in that, and some people hate it. So, it's not going to be easy, but it's admirable what you're doing. Even if your situation as a civilian is worse and the military is better and it takes you out of poverty, you're still doing something really good. Because even when you're in the civilian world, you never know what happened. You could get a job making $100,000 a year and be good and be happy. You don't know. You went and sacrificed your time to go in the military. So, it's good. Even if it makes your life better, it's still an admirable, respectable thing to do. Brooklyn says he's cool with being in the mud and having stinky feet. So, haven't been taught how to salute yet, but I'll salute you, Brooklyn Man. Let's see. Items 8 and 13 of DD Form 4 Enlistment, Re-enlistment Document Armed Forces of the United States deal with enlistment promises and must be stressed so applicants have a legitimate understanding of their significance. Specific statements of understanding on annexes in DD Form 4 are used for guaranteed enlistment incentives for general service enlistment, open contracts, the DD Form 4, and section, what is this? Does this mean 5, I think? 6? I don't know what that Roman numeral is. Of the DD Form 1966 Record of Military Processing Armed Forces of the United States are used. So they're going to put bonuses, enlistment bonuses, and things like, hey, what's up, Ray? Thank you for coming and saying hi. I really appreciate that. I love it when people come in and say hi. You can lurk too. I don't mind if you guys lurk. If you have questions, you want to say hi, do it down below. We're trying to build this community of people who want to get in, people who are in and have advice for people like us who are trying to get in. Like, say what's up, make friends, don't be shy. Let's see. Real or implied promises that cannot be honored and questionable recruiting practices jeopardize accomplishment of the mission and mar the integrity of the individual Navy recruiters. You guys, you hear horror stories of people saying crazy stuff. My recruiter said this, my recruiter said that. Some of it's true, and some of it is because people don't do their own research, like Ryan said earlier, like Brooklyn Man said, do your own research, like I'm doing here with you guys, okay? Recruiting personnel will use their chain of command to address issues or questions posed by rejected applicants that the recruiter is unable to address. Yeah, even if you're rejected, be professional, be courteous. That's what they're there to do. Help people understand things, Help them. People, they just want to recruit people, so they think maybe they don't want to waste their time on someone who's too old or someone who's too young, or, you should be helping people. That's what you're there for. Community needs to build that relationship. They never know who they're talking to. That person might go and be a really good, word of mouth and go tell their other friend who wants to join. Dude, I couldn't join, but this person spent so much time to help me and answer all my questions. That's going to bring people to you. So they're trying to help the recruiters understand that. This is a lot. We're not going to read all this. But I just I thought it was interesting. And you guys, all this stuff about the military is all public, You guys want to look at the pay? Let's look at the pay. Look at this. Right on the military website. You don't have to take anyone's word for it. Let's see. They might have a Navy HR, but they'll have an actual. Some of this stuff is kind of hard to figure out how to read it. And if you guys want to look at something else, let me know. If you want to watch like a recruiting video or something, or a boot camp video, or you want to see something about a specific job, let me know. We'll pull it up here and we'll look at it together. Do they take taxes out? Yep, you pay taxes. Now, Brooklyn Man, I don't know how the Army is, but the Navy often goes to like foreign places. So a lot of Navy stuff when you're on ship deployment, a lot of it is duty free, meaning you don't pay any taxes. Like if they're in the Persian Gulf or something, the Red Sea or something like that, you're not paying taxes. You're getting paid more. You're getting paid, especially if you have a family. You're getting separation from your family. You're getting like battle pay because they're like active conflict over there with Israel, Iran, and all that stuff. The Houthis. You're getting no taxes on all your stuff. Like you're stacking up, and usually they're not in port, so you're not like it's not like in Japan or the Philippines or Hawaii. So you're not spending your money in port. So you're gonna have some good money there. Look at they put your clothing allowances. They give you money, I think, every so once in a while. BAS. So enlisted get, and this I think is every month, and this is starting January 1st. They don't have the older one. And then officers get a little less, which is weird. I don't know why. Trying to see where the heck they even have the dang. Yeah, in the army, I don't know how the army works because so there's a weird thing I heard when say you're stationed in Germany in the army that the base is actually like the same as being in America. Like if I mailed something to you, it would be American postage. If you bought a flight, which I don't think you'd have to pay for a flight, but anything like in and out of there, it's considered like from America to America, even though it's technically in Germany. So I don't know. I would ask the recruiter about that. I've only been researching a bunch of the Navy stuff. Hazardous duty. I don't know if this is I don't know if this is per because you get paid twice in the Navy. I think it's the 5th and the 15th, or the 1st and the 15th. It's something like that. I don't know if this is per month or per pay period. So it would be if it was 150 2 times a month to be 300 a month extra. That's extra money. That's good. And this is for a straight up rookie right here, like right out of boot camp. And then they got the higher ones here. Obviously, it starts going up, which is cool. Oh, I think this is warrant officers is what W is, and this is officers, and then this is enlisted. So this would be like me right here on the right side. E1 is like right out of boot camp, and then E9 is like you're big time if you're E9. Let's try to look here. We'll look up Army since you have a question. Army pay. And then they're probably here you go. So a private makes 24,000 a year. An E2 makes a little more. This is the same for every branch. Except we don't have sergeants in the Navy. They have petty officers. And then, yeah. But yeah, this is going to be all of this right here. This money is the same for every branch. Just the name of the rank changes. There's no privates. We have seaman apprentice, seaman, petty officer 3rd class, petty officer 2nd class, petty officer 1st class, like that. Chief. After that. So, yeah. Let's see. Have you guys ever heard of JT Suits? Well, actually, Brooklyn wouldn't care about that. But let's see. Let's see what Let's see if there's any funny videos on here on Army MEPS from people. Not like from actual recruiters, but like someone who. This guy is kind of funny. Do you follow this guy, Brooklyn? Thank you so much. I really appreciate the best wishes, Brooklyn. I really do appreciate that, bro. Berserker. Have you ever seen this guy, Nico Ortiz? He has a lot of good information. He does like reaction videos and stuff too. But he has some early stuff. This guy, I love this guy. Don't know who that is. Let's ignore that. I've seen some of this guy's videos. I'm trying to see like just some random kid. This guy, I don't like this. I've seen this one. He's like this long old 13-minute video, and at the end he just says study. You watch Nico? Yeah, he's funny. This guy Jameson, he was a Marine. And then Air Force. 11 years ago. I bet a lot has changed since then. Look, a Navy simulator. Yeah, that's why I do these videos, to be honest.
Welcome back, guys. If you're new, hi, my name is Tro. Don't forget to hit that subscribe. Nitty gritty.
Hey, do you guys like when people say at the beginning of the video, I have never seen this guy before, and he wants me to like and subscribe? 10 seconds in. I haven't seen any of his content, and he wants me to like and subscribe. Like, bro, get to the end. Get to the end first. Give me some good content, and then ask me.
Content to make you...
Everybody on YouTube knows. Like and subscribe. Everybody knows. You don't got to ask.
The best Marine possible, and to make your experience as good as it can possibly be. So, the whole reason you're here is to hear about MEPS. Like, this is probably hands down the biggest topic I get asked about on a daily basis is what's going on at MEPS? What are they going to do at MEPS? If I got this wrong, are they going to find out? So, without further ado, let's get into the talk about MEPS.
Yeah.
So, what is MEPS even for? What is the whole? It's basically a big medical capability, like your balance. They're going to tell all MEPS is. So, with like the whole thing about MEPS, right? A lot of people are like, so are they going to find out any of my medical history? Are they going to do this? Are they going to do that? This, and that? Well, I'm going to give you a little top secret, like. Keep it on the DL.
Let's hear
you didn't hear it
secret
from me, but if you don't tell them, then they're not going to know.
That's not 100% true. If you don't tell them, they're not going to know. Tell your recruiter everything. Tell your recruiter everything. Okay? They are the ones that are going to help you. The recruiter will tell you what to say and what not to say at MEPS. Whatever you tell your recruiter and they send you to MEPS, say that. Don't say anything else. If you told the recruiter no, tell MEPS no. If you told the recruiter yes, tell MEPS yes. Okay? I have seen, not someone I know personally, but in the news, people that have gotten in the military have some sort of issue. Then the military goes and looks up their medical history. So especially when you're 41, okay, I've lived half my life already compared to a high school kid. Okay, I had my gallbladder removed for one. Okay, most kids don't have that. So they're not going to just go look through every page of my medical history anytime I had a cold or anytime I went in for an upset stomach. They're not going to look through my entire medical history, even though they have access to it. They're going to try to interrogate me, and anything I don't say, I hesitate, I say, they're going to just look at it. Hey, have you ever picked your nose? Well, one time in the shower, and they're just going to look into it. Just say yes or no, the same way you told the recruiter, and you'll be fine. But tell your recruiter everything, because if you got something messed up and they find out later, you're going to get discharged. Probably without your benefits, without no benefits. You're going to lose all your benefits from the military. If they find out you hid something and they find out it was pre-existing, tell your recruiter everything and then stick to that story.
You didn't get that from me, so, but hey, do with that what you want to, but if you don't tell them, they're not gonna know anything. Promise they're not. But with that, I'll go ahead and share my own kind of MEPS experience, right? So I went to a recruiter, I talked to him, yeah, I want to join the Marine Corps, ooh, hooray for me, right? So I went to MEPS, right? I took my ASVAB, boom, took my ASVAB, went back home. I got my test scores back, I passed with a 69, then I started to sit down with the recruiter, I was like, okay, I want to join the infantry.
And this is cool because you can't, he's younger, so they do different things when you're younger. Where you could take your ASVAB in high school, but you don't typically get to go to MEPS, take your ASVAB and your medical, and then go talk to your recruiter about what jobs you qualify for. That is not standard. Like when I was telling you at the beginning of this video how I can do that, I was super excited about that. That is not a standard experience. Normally, you do the MEPS in 2 days. You go early one day, take the ASVAB, then you go to the hotel, sleep, and you go back the next morning and do the medical all day. Then you go sit with the classifier and they pick your job. So being able to go back to the recruiter, I think that's cool. That is a cool thing. If you live far from MEPS, probably the recruiter's not going to do that with you. If you're driving yourself like me or you live close to MEPS, it's probably an option you can ask for.
Might have been the biggest mistake of my life, but yeah, I'm here. It's whatever. So, I go through the whole process of like, okay, I'm going to sign the infantry contract, sign the contract, do all that stuff, blah, blah, blah. Then the recruiter's like, all right, it's time for you to go to MEPS, right? You got to go to MEPS next week. Be prepared to go this day, blah, 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 blah. So I go to MEPS.
And in the Navy, you don't sign a contract with your recruiter. Yeah, you do it at MEPS. Christopher Chaos, is that who this guy is? No, this is Trail the Great.
You wake up pretty early in the morning, you go stand in line, they like search you, make sure you don't have any knives or anything on you. You go in the building, you wait for a very, very, very long time. You wait. And then they tell you the whole process of what's gonna go down, right? So the first thing, they're gonna take your blood pressure. They took my blood pressure, they had to take mine like a bajillion times. They were like, I don't know, I was really nervous with my heart rate and all that stuff. My blood pressure was up, but it finally went down.
Me too, you guys. I get super anxious and nervous when I'm getting my blood pressure tested for something job related. Like I have my DOT physical because I have my commercial driver's license, Class A. I get so nervous, even though I'm healthy. I have my own blood pressure sleeve here at home. My blood pressure is always good. Always good. I do a lot of anaerobic workouts. I have good blood pressure. My resting heart rate is good. I go to take a blood pressure test and I get nervous and it's it starts going. Sometimes they'll let you sit in a room, turn the light off, tell you lay down and like close your eyes and try to like fall asleep. Then they'll come in, like really try to do it. If they let you sit in a room with the lights off, close your eyes and just literally try to pretend like you're going to sleep. It'll calm you down.
They take your blood pressure and then they check your eyes. So it's like the same thing like you always do for your eyes. You like stand in a line. You try to.
My eyes water when I take eye tests. I get nervous. Does that happen to any of you guys? When you take eye tests or, I mean, if you have really good vision, you probably don't care. You don't even think about it. But me, I overanalyze. I'm like, oh man, I don't want to disqualify myself if I have a bad eye test, and my eyes will water and I'll be like squinting really hard to see super far.
How to read the letters, you cover up one eye, you're like, oh, I think that's a P, Q, R, I don't know, T. And then they're gonna check to see if you're colorblind, and then you're gonna get in this room, like this little box for like
some of these things, if you fail them, you guys, it doesn't disqualify you from the military, but it disqualifies you from some jobs. So don't worry about it. Go in here and try to do all that stuff. You have a small astigmatism. Yeah, I don't think that disqualifies you from everything, but there probably will be some stuff that'll disqualify you from
your hearing examination. You're gonna put on these headphones. You're gonna get like a little clicker every time.
If you have good memory, Brooklyn man, with both eyes open, try to remember the row. before they make you do one eye closed. And do this one. If they tell you to close one eye, use your good eye first when you're saying it, and try to remember. Try to remember, because they don't change it up on you. Try to remember the...
Time you hear a beep, you
chart.
Click the clicker. That's it. Simple as that. Then after that, you're gonna go back in the waiting room. You're gonna wait for like an insane amount of time to go like get the rest of the process done, which is like basically the kind of medical examination and all that stuff. All right, so you're gonna go back there. It's gonna be like 5 of you. You're gonna go in this room. You're gonna get like stripped down all the way to like your underwear. They're gonna tell you to balance on your right foot, balance on your left foot. They're gonna tell you like balance on your right foot and like lift your leg behind you. They're gonna tell you to do all this stuff. They're gonna tell you to duck walk. They're gonna tell you to do all these things. They're gonna ask to see your hands. Wait, let me see your hands. Flip them this way, flip them that way. They're gonna do a whole bunch of stuff. They're gonna be checking like.
Don't chew your fingernails too. I heard that's a thing. Do not chew your fingernails. Use fingernail clippers. If you chew your nails, I think that disqualifies you.
Like for scars and all this other stuff. And then you're gonna wait in that room with those other guys or whatever. And then you're gonna go see the doctor personally. And then the doctor's gonna ask you questions. You just say no, 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 no. Or, you know, like, are you ready to Marine Corps? Yes. Do you have any medical history? No. Have you ever broken anything? No. Do you have any medical conditions that might prohibit you? Like, no. And then he's gonna tell you to stand up. He's gonna tell you to bend over. Or he's gonna tell you to take off like your underwear. He's gonna tell you to bend over, spread them. He's gonna be like, oh, all right, good. And then that's it. He signs your paperwork. Boom. You go wait in the like big waiting room where everyone's at. You wait for everyone to get done, and then you all get sworn in. And you just go through the swearing process. They take some pictures, and then boom. That's your whole MEPS process. It's
the military's got to look at your butthole. That's so weird to me, but whatever.
Done that fast. That's all that MEPS is.
Gotta do
it's
it.
Not like some big.
Dude, civilians will never understand the stuff people have to go through before you even join, before you even get paid. You got to do the most embarrassing stuff. You know? Thank you to this guy for doing that. He looks a little bit uncomfortable. His body language is like saying he's a little bit uncomfortable. He had to do this stuff, you know? Thank you to him, this young man, for doing that.
Scary place. I thought it was too, me personally. I really did. I thought, you know, they were gonna like rip my whole life apart, but honestly, no, it's not. It's actually a pretty like calm and pretty, you know, easy process. It just takes forever. It just takes all day to do it. But yeah, guys, that's my MEPS experience, and that's pretty much what your MEPS experience is gonna be. It's gonna be ASVAB if you need to take it. It's gonna be your medical examination. Then it's gonna be you swear in, and that's it. That's the last time you're gonna do MEPS. And then
see, he skips. He did a. You know, I don't know if the Marines is different, maybe, if branches do their own thing, but the Navy, usually you do your ASVAB, the medical, and then you sit with a classifier, and they help you pick your job and sign your contract there at MEPS. But he said he signed it with his recruiter, so maybe Marine recruiters, they sign your contract. I don't know. What job did you want to do, you're going to go for, Brooklyn man, in the Army? Air Force MEPS. Sometimes I like watching the really silly people's.
What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy Just Game back here with another video for y'all today. Today, I wanted to drop a video as far as what to expect when you're going through MEPS.
That's smart. Any of the trade jobs?
I just got done with MEPS in February, so it was a couple months ago.
Why not check out the Seabees in the Navy? Seabees are pretty legit. The Seabees are cool because they're actually they're always on land, and they usually fly. They fly to where they're working. So if you go somewhere, you fly. You don't go on a boat. And they have HVAC, electricians, plumbers, builders, construction, operators. The Seabees are a very prestigious group as well. They're considering they're called the Fighting Bees because they're forward deployed with Marines. So they're building the bases and things like that for troops. So when you go to war and you're building a forward operating base, a FOB, the Seabees go in there and build it. And they go fight and shoot and control crowds and build the bases. Maybe something to consider, buddy. You'd be in the Navy like me.
But it's very recent. and I'm going through everything. I'm gonna even drop something that a lot of people didn't mention before I went to MIPS. I also YouTubed a lot of videos just to
Even if you watch people who are knuckleheads, I'm not saying he's a knucklehead, but I haven't watched his video. But watch all these, you'll learn something. People will go in there and be like, oh man, the people in there tell me what to do, and man, I just ain't having that. Like, you'll learn something from knuckleheads that you won't learn from people who are squared away. So it's good to kind of watch all of them.
What I was getting myself into. There's a little tiny bit that people left out that, you know, but
Dude,
we'll get into that later anyway.
What I'm afraid of
today, I want to give you guys just the whole rundown. Is going to kind of.
I'm going to show you the one thing I'm afraid of in boot camp. Let's see if they show it. It's the bajillion shots. Oh my gosh, when they give
Why
you
is everyone spiraling about
20,
YouTube banning
25 shots at the beginning, and then they make you lean over a gurney and you get the peanut butter shot in your butt cheek while you're looking at someone in the face?
Down! 1, 2, 3! 19 messages! 1, 2, 3!
This division of U.S. Navy recruits is in week 3 of their 10-week
And whenever you watch these Business Insider things,
it's supposed to hurt. Down!
You know they're being nicer. What's known as an intensive training exercise, or ITE session.
Push-ups! Get there!
It lasts for about 40 minutes without a break.
Up position! I told you yesterday I was going to get mine. Y'all been pissing me off for
this isn't
week.
P-Days.
Between not working together,
this is
thinking
this
is a joke, and it's...
Put them in a stressful environment to show them that...
So from what I gathered, the first 2 weeks of Navy boot camp, you're not getting PT'd and smoked and like punished and all that stuff. The first 2 weeks is just P-Days. They're processing you, getting all your paperwork done, sending you to the dentist, getting your hair cut, getting all your paperwork. They're teaching you the fundamentals. Like, you know, this is a petty officer first class. I can't see actually. Yeah, petty officer first class. There's 3 chevrons here. They teach you this. I think right here is an RDC pin that you get for being here. This is a surface warfare pin. I think this maybe might be air warfare or something. I don't know, to be honest. They teach you all this kind of stuff, like what the people with these red ropes and how to salute colors and all that stuff. The first 2 weeks, that's all the stuff they teach you.
Even though it might be stressful for them, they can get through it.
So she's aviation ordnance first class, like I told you, petty officer first class. This is stuff you have to learn. If you look here on my desktop here, I'm trying to see you guys while I'm doing this. I have the 11 general orders of a century. Take charge of this post and all government property in view. To walk my post in a military manner, keeping always on the alert and observing everything that takes place within sight or hearing. To report all violations of orders I'm instructed to enforce. To repeat all calls from posts more distant from the guardhouse than my own. To quit my post only when properly relieved. To receive, obey, and pass on to the sentry who relieves me all orders from the commanding officer, commanding duty officer, officer of the deck, and officers and petty officers of the watch only. To talk to no one except in the line of duty. To give the alarm in case of fire or disorder. Call the officer of the deck in any case not covered by instructions. To salute all officers and all colors. So all officers and the flags. That's what colors are. And standards, not cased. So if there's a flag folded up in a display, you don't have to salute that. But if it's up on a pole or something like that, you have to salute that. Or if someone's holding it. To be especially watchful at night and during the time for challenging, to challenge all persons on or near my post, and to allow no one to pass without proper authority. So it says, right, this is a pamphlet that someone got when they got into the delayed entry program, and they took pictures for me, and I put it here on my desktop to review it all the time. You will be required to quote any one or all of the 11 general orders of a century from memory, anytime, anywhere, and to anyone by the 5th day of the first week of training. So when you're in P-Days, they give you that book, and all you have any downtime you have, you're reading this. And then they probably also set time aside and they're like, hey, stick your nose in that book. It is imperative that you learn the 11 general orders of a century while you're in delayed entry program prior to your departure for recruit training. So they have a delayed entry program test you take within the first day or so of when you get there, when you're all sleep deprived. And if you know this stuff, it's going to make you look good, and you're probably going to get a little more money. You're going to get a little rank up action if you pass that test. And then I don't think they make you know this right away, but you have to know this before you graduate boot camp. Because when you graduate, everybody says, I'm a United States sailor. I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America, and I will obey the orders of those appointed over me. I represent the fighting spirit of the Navy and those who have gone before me to defend freedom and democracy around the world. I proudly serve my country's Navy combat team with honor, courage, commitment, and I am committed to the excellence and the fair treatment of all. So that's all that cool stuff. Let's see, OBS right there. And wait, open it. Where's it at? There it is.
You're moving too slow!
And then it kind of like sets the tone.
This right here, these are called pendants. These are what people fly on ships. Each one is a letter. And I could only see this far. I was trying to translate it, and this is a GONAVY. So it says Go Navy. There's more, but I don't.
For the rest of training.
I haven't seen any pictures of what the rest of them say.
Where did I tell you to look? Where?
Luckily, we're not in COVID anymore. Woo! No more masks. No more COVID shots.
Where did I tell you to look?
So look, see how this guy's getting chewed out right now? It's literally just because he didn't do what he was told. He's not getting... They don't just go scream at you if you're doing what you're told all the time. That's if you're special and you need extra coaching and attention.
Welcome to Recruit Training Command. I'm Chief Walters. I'll be one of your facilitators this evening.
EM? I don't know what an EM is. EMC. He's an officer of some kind.
You will remove your cell phone.
He's a chief.
You're going to call home. Call your parents. Call your recruiter. I don't care who. But you're going to let them know that
you notice that one,
safely.
the first...
You have 1 minute. Go.
Let's see, hold on.
What up, man? Hey, I just made
the girls,
I don't have long to speak, but I just want to tell you that I made it safely, but I'm okay.
You have 45 seconds. Hurry up.
Oh, there was more of the pendants there, but you couldn't see it.
I called my mom. It was definitely emotional, though, because you kind of know that's the last time you're going to be able to contact your family for a little bit.
Love you very much. You guys have a good one.
You think I'm going to cry? You guys think I'm going to cry when I do this part?
Yeah.
If I call my dad or if I call my wife?
What is your problem, guys?
I get emotional,
what is your
you guys.
problem? Why are you
see how
moving so slow?
His recruiter pin is right here, and that chick's was up here. Dudes and females wear their stuff in different spots. This guy he's got a surface warfare pin. He'd been in for a little while.
You're on my time now, not your time. Hurry up.
It was brutal, I won't lie. It was culture shock. You are learning pretty much how to be a new human.
You do not know what the you're supposed to be doing at any given time. You will stand at attention until told to do otherwise. At no point in time will you look a staff member in the eyes. That's rude and disrespectful.
Oh, when they come tap you out?
That's the quickest way to piss us off. Is that understood?
After boot camp?
How about some motivation? Is that understood?
I probably would too. Desperate.
Recruits receive their ditty bags.
Hey, hurry up. Let's go. Get your socks off my table. Let's go.
Which hold their different uniforms, hygiene products, and basic items they'll need for boot camp.
Hurry up. Go, 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 go.
Recruits must provide urine samples to make sure they have no drugs in their systems. Those who can't immediately provide a sample are ordered to hydrate until they can. Although male and female recruits sleep in different compartments, some train in gender-integrated divisions.
Canada Dry Zero, fruit
After
flash.
being assigned to divisions, recruits wait to meet their recruit division commanders, or RDCs.
Get the up! Let's go!
Turn around, back up, go!
So this is the very first time you see your RDCs, recruit division commanders. I think that's why they're screaming all like this. They're trying to make a good impression. They're just trying to make a good impression. They're not like this all the time.
By their red shoulder cords. These are
This is the chief. If it's a senior chief, he'll have 1 star. If it's a master chief, there'll be 2 stars. And then this is I don't know what this one I don't know what this one is. I know this one, surface warfare pin. This is these bottom 2 here is rifle and pistol expert. I think this is the boot camp ribbon. And then I'm pretty sure that the other ones are like from other wars and stuff, like other countries, like Operation Enduring Freedom and all that stuff. Yep. And then I don't know what any of these other ones are. But this guy's been in a while, obviously. Yeah, there's his RDC pin here. And the girls will have theirs on the top right. Probably, I think, just because girls have boobs. That's why they can't wear their pin down there.
C's will be with the division until they graduate from boot camp.
Did we say you could talk? They want to be here to be sailors. So that's our job, to train them, to help them get there. Why are we so slow? Hey, you, isn't he taller than you?
I'm gonna have to try so hard not to laugh.
We're not their friends. We're here to make them sailors. Why are you looking at recruit? Do I owe you anything? You want them to be uncomfortable, right? You want to get them out of their comfort zone. Boot camp is hard, but when you go out to the fleet, if you make a mistake, you're going to kill somebody.
Now.
Right now, it's lives are at stake. So we want them to understand that the bigger picture.
Male recruits have to shave their heads. Female recruits can pull their.
Looks like they got an Eggo, some fruit, some eggs.
Their hair back in a bun or wear it down.
Juice.
As long.
That's is that beans?
As long as it does not extend.
A lot of carbs. There's a hard-boiled
below
egg,
the back of the collar. The new recruits pay their first visit to the galley, where they eat in silence and stare straight ahead until they're dismissed.
Table 8, get up and get out!
They'll need their strength for their first test of boot camp.
Come on.
Yeah,
An initial physical assessment known as the PACER test.
Everyone up.
Timed intervals of push-ups.
Both these guys are doing good push-ups.
Planks.
Dude, I do the plank. So Navy, you have to do plank, which is this one. I can do a plank for a couple minutes, but like 30 seconds in, my butt cheeks start going. I start like trembling. Planks are kind of hard.
And running.
But they're better than sit-ups.
Not every recruit shows up where they need to be. That's okay. That's what we're here for. Put your hands by your side. Look at everybody else next to you. Fix your.
So if you pass, you get 3 physical fitness tests in Navy boot camp. Your first one, if you pass it the first try, you get advancement. You don't get kicked out. You have to pass it by your final one. But if you pass it on your first one, you get advancement.
Yourself. If we identify individuals that are struggling, then we can curtail the training to make sure everyone's on the.
So he's a corpsman, petty officer, first class. So he has 3 chevrons. In the Navy, the chevrons go opposite. So a 1 is the highest, and you have 3 chevrons. And a 3rd is the lowest, and you only have 1 chevron. And then 2 is 2 because it's in the middle there. They have a lot, I think, the corpsmen doing the physical stuff because they can see if you're getting like rhabdo or any dehydration. They can kind of like they're better for the physical stuff to see if you're okay. That's cool. I didn't know they got weights back here. Ooh, I'm excited. Did we get to freaking lift weights in boot camp? Oh, these are pull-ups. These are assisted pull-up machines. Okay, because I think in like some of the special forces guys and stuff, some of the information warfare jobs like SWIC, rescue diver, they have to be able to do, I think, 10 pull-ups, and you have to do deadlifting. I think that's special. This isn't for everybody. This is the first time I've noticed these. Look, they got treadmills in the back, and assisted pull-up racks. I'm trying to see
playing field to be successful.
That's cool. I never paid attention to that
Recruits
before.
have 2 chances to pass the test.
When you run, so look, they got basketball courts in here. I never even noticed. I wonder what. So Great Lakes is an actual base that also does boot camp. So you can be stationed at Great Lakes, and I hear that the people there have to be more squared away because you have boot camp people there. So you have like more eyes on you to do things right. It's not as laxed. But I think they do the run test in here as well. Sorry, I'll mute my mic while my wife's FaceTime rings on her computer.
If they fail, they're recycled into another division where they'll keep trying until they can move forward. In week 1, recruits are tested on their ability to swim.
God forbid you're in that abandoned ship scenario where you do have to leave the safety of your ship. The Navy has deemed that we need to be able to implement a swim qualification to ensure your safety and the safety of your shipmates. Everyone in the Navy has to have a third-class swim qualification. The third-class qualification consists of stepping from an elevated platform.
It'll be fun to go back and watch this after boot camp. Watch my reaction.
Surfacing unassisted, swimming 50 yards, and doing a 5-minute prone on your front, known as a prone float, or on your back, known as a supine float.
I knew it's the Navy, you're gonna need to know how to swim a little bit. I had swam before, but I had never jumped off a diving board.
That's not a diving board.
Hitting the water, you're like, whoa, I wasn't expecting that.
That's a diving platform.
But not all recruits are ready to take the lead.
You want to get off? Come on, get off! You can't
Some
swim?
have to be pulled from the water during
you
the test
in boot camp.
and sent to remedial swimming, where they learn the basics of being comfortable in the water.
We're just asking you to try to actually calm yourself down and realize that the water's not going to drag you under. You know, you have to cooperate with it.
You can swim. Okay.
We have a 99.97% pass rate. We have a higher pass rate for recruits that can't swim than the Navy has of making civilians into sailors.
You know, they didn't show the
recruits report to the Marlin.
They didn't show the shots.
Eve to me is basically freedom.
I was trying to show you guys the shots.
And performing. We'll get them running. We're going to be loud with expectations. You cannot make your analysis. So, way to run. If we listen to input.
Joining the Navy sailor and how you can succeed.
Literally the only part. This girl does a good job with the MEPS. I watched all her stuff. She actually gives like demonstrations of stuff you have to do. A lot of people don't do that. Navy boot camp shots. Let's just be more specific here. This has got me sweating, you guys. This has me sweating.
So your age and your allergies, they should not have to ask you. Do you understand that?
Yes. Dude, who wants to sit on the floor in the hospital area?
Please make sure your sleeves are rolled up high so they do not interfere with the shot. Stickers should be centered high as well. From this point on, there should be no talking unless you or the person next to you needs medical attention. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am. Back your hand and go to ma'am.
When you watch this, watch some of them. They're like, they just jam it, angle. There's not even like when you go get your shot. You know, they're like, okay, you ready? They're like hardcore angle it.
18, no allergies. Up in the box. This is Twin Rex. Hepatitis A, hepatitis B.
That guy actually looked like me.
18 done. 18 now.
Get that pool.
Hepatitis B. This one, stick on the back of your hand, go to mouth. 18 no allergies. 19 no allergies.
You know their freaking delts are gonna be so tender. Everybody gets sick. Everybody feels like crap.
Don't move.
Ooh! Oh, there's a TV. You see that bubble? Dude, no. Now jam it in there, buddy. You can't give me a hug and a kiss first? Wow. Dude, there's way more. They only showed like 3 shots in that. Hold on. Hold on a minute, guys. This is from the Navy, too. That's not even... There's more. This is JT. He's funny. Does he show the video?
Hey, fam. Welcome back to another video here. Today we're going to be talking about getting shots and...
He just talks about it.
And then they pull out a jar of Jiffy, load it into a syringe, and put it in your...
Same. He doesn't even show it. He just talks about it. Oh, look at that. There you go, Brooklyn. BCT.
You're going to bring your arms down, yes?
Yes, Sergeant.
Heat color.
All right, your fingertips are 6 inches.
Forward. Should be looking to your right. If you are in the front, you should be looking to your right. That is how you align yourself so everyone behind you can align themselves directly behind you.
Minimal, single arm, minimal later on.
Cover. Heat color. You should use your peripheral vision to make sure you are aligned to the person to your right. To make sure you are aligned to the person to your right. If you're not aligned to the person to your right, when I give you cover, you will just...
See how she said use your peripheral vision? And then that guy's like, that's not your peripheral vision. They want you to just stand there like you're professional and look. Just move your eyes and look.
Trust yourself again. Yes?
Yes, Sergeant.
Cover.
The guy's all...
You're not looking over there.
Those are the kind of
You're
people
using your
that give you
peripheral vision. I'm going to give you the command forward march. On the command forward march, you're going to take a 30-inch step forward with your left foot. Yes?
Yeah,
you don't have to think.
I do that
for you. All you have to do is make sure.
But this is chill. She's talking loud so everyone can hear, but this is chill. Like, they're not getting smoked. They're just going to learn how to stand, learn how to drill, learn how to march. If you pay attention, you're going to be fine.
On your left foot.
They're literally getting you ready for boot camp.
March.
To graduate. I mean, not for boot camp, to graduate. Uh-oh. We're out of step.
Your fingers, so on and so forth. All right, y'all good? Don't worry about this. Look at that.
You are my basement. Everyone is aligning up to you, yes?
Recover!
You stand there. Yes?
Recover!
They want you to do well, too, because the drill instructors are also getting graded.
Town hall formation, yes? Yes. Hall formation, yes? Yes, Sergeant! All right, now, if you notice when you marched in here, there were 4 lines over here. And yes, Sergeant! Town formation! Town formation!
Say it, Brooklyn.
Town formation!
This guy's so ready to eat.
Which is
Don't laugh, dude. Be serious.
Now, if you are
Siri,
the
mind your business. No one's
middle
talking to you.
lines within those 4 lines that we talked about earlier, yes? Yes, Sergeant! If you're in the 2 middle lines, raise your hand right now. You're going to go inside, walk over here, and then continue on. All the way to the front. Go.
Okay, so the
You're
boss
going
is
to walk out,
first.
and then make a left face. Let's go! All the way down! All the way down!
She's got her sunglasses on inside? That's weird.
All the way down! All the way down! Let's go! This way! This way! Grab your flag! Grab your flag! Grab your flag! Put it down!
When they're yelling at you, just stay chill. Side step. He's literally telling you what to do and you're still walking forward. I can't hear him. Side step. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Put everything on your tray! Put everything! Go!
See, he's holding his fork. He's saying put everything on your tray, and he's like, oh.
All the way to the wall!
So
shoulder
funny.
to shoulder! Hurry up!
So in the Navy, I think they don't yell at you while you're in chow hall, while you're in the mess. It's different than this.
Everything goes on your tray! That's me, Silverware! Go! Go!
They're giving you simple instructions and you can't follow it because you're so overwhelmed.
Don't put the tray on myself! Everything! Why aren't your heels together? Put your heels together! Why aren't your heels together?
This is the part where it's hard, the shark attacks, when they're all yelling at you at the same time.
Put it on your tray! Hold up, Trini, get yourself! You gotta eat food! You gotta eat food! Choo-choo swallow, Trini's. Choo-choo swallow.
You eat a natty, taste the liquor.
That's quick, baby. That's quick. See how they give you carbs? The spaghetti, bread. There's a chicken breast.
Let's go.
That guy's.
Chew it up, taste the liquor.
Choo-choo swallow. That's all you should do. Choo-choo swallow. You should.
Let's go.
Oh, he couldn't even get his arm up. Right.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Let's go.
Look at him.
What are you doing?
Free cover.
All right. Thank you, everybody who came on, especially the people who were there at the beginning and heard my crazy story. Long story short, advocate for yourself. Do your own research. Don't settle. Okay? You should be content with what you have, but you don't have to be complacent. If you feel like someone is not taking care of you in your best interest, without stirring the pot or causing trouble, go ask someone else and cover your own ass at the same time. Maybe when this all rolls over, I might play the full tape. I'll play a little bit here then. Let's see what happens.
Well, there's like disillusion of marriage. There's my.
Yeah, so your new recruiters are in charge of doing all your paperwork again. Yeah.
So hear me out. There was stuff that Shane said. Oh.
Hey, what's your name?
Jeffrey Hill.
Jeffrey Hill is here first. About.
Yeah, she was on the phone saying they already deleted all your stuff and or shredded it. Crazy. All right, guys. Peace out. Fly low. If you have any questions, comment. If you have anything you want to talk about on here, comment. We'll talk about it. Thank you, Brooklyn Man, for staying till the end. You're the best. And yeah, I'll be back on here Monday. I might try to do like a vlog thing where I record it on my phone and then I'll upload it. And then maybe I'll do a live later that evening after I talk to the recruiters. Peace.